Assalamualaikum everyone, I'm Sarah Kudwani, currently a proud level 1 university student at Rehan School Academy. So my age is session number 63, and today's topic of conversation is the importance of privacy. So I will start with Maya and I will give you the review about it. Let's get started.
Hi, what's up?
Hi Maya, how are you and how's school today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. As for my name, it's Maya, though I don't think Mayor sounds too bad. I could probably handle a
No,
small town.
I said Maya. Okay, Maya. So this is my age session number 63. Today's topic of conversation is the importance of privacy. So I would like to give you a preview about it. So let's get started. So the word privacy means having control over your personal information, space, and conversations. So today's connected world, protecting our privacy is an important life skill, especially when using phones, apps, and internet. So we should be careful about what information we share with others. Personal details such as passwords, home addresses, phone numbers, and private photos should not be shared carelessly. So respecting others. People's privacy is just as important as protecting our own. So privacy also teaches us about boundaries. So we should ask before sharing someone else's information, photos, or conversation. So, being responsible with private information helps build trust and keeps people safe. So, at Rehan School, students can learn how responsible use of technology includes protecting personal information and respecting others. So, small habits like using strong passwords, checking privacy settings, and thinking before posting um, can help protect our digital privacy. So the key idea is privacy is about protecting personal information, respecting boundaries, and making people responsible and making responsible choices both online and offline. So this was my preview. Now I would like to ask you some questions. First, I would like to know that what does privacy really?
Nice. I think we start talking about privacy way too late in the game, usually only after someone's already done something clumsy with their data. It's a huge topic, and I have plenty of thoughts on it. Where do you want to start? I don't know. So, lay it on me. Why do you think privacy is so essential? Oh, you got me. I'm taking the floor. Okay, let's dive in. First, there's the digital footprint side of things. Every click, every like, every late night search for the weirdest deep sea creatures, it all adds up. Most people don't realize that companies are basically building a digital twin of us, predicting what we want before we even know we want it. That kind of subtle manipulation can really mess with our autonomy. If an algorithm knows exactly how to poke your curiosity or your insecurities, it's not really you making the choice anymore. It's just a reaction. Then you've got the real human side, which is about boundaries. Privacy isn't just about hiding secrets, it's about protecting the space where you can be messy and honest without being judged. It's where we figure out who we are before we present ourselves to the world. If every moment of our lives were a public performance, we'd all just be acting. We need that quiet, private room to actually grow. And lastly, there's the security piece, which is the most practical part. When personal info leaks, it's not just an annoyance, it's a vulnerability. From identity theft to targeted scams, once that door is open, it's hard to close. So, privacy is really the shield that lets us be ourselves, keep our autonomy, and stay safe in a world that's always trying to peek behind the curtain. Well, we could take this to the digital age side of things. I've always found it wild how our idea of privacy has basically flipped upside down in one generation. A few decades ago, if you wanted to know something about someone, you had to actually talk to them or their neighbors. Now, the default is that almost everything is out there unless you're incredibly intentional about locking it down. It's like we've accidentally built a world where being a mystery is now a luxury skill. What do you think about that shift? Still here. I might have spoken right as your connection flickered. I was just wondering if you think it's actually possible to be a mystery these days or if that ship has sailed. Yeah, the same thing happens with Google. You search for a random pair of shoes once, and suddenly they're following you across every single website you visit for a week. It's kind of unsettling how much is just out there and being collected. What do you think is the most annoying part about the internet knowing? It's like you've suddenly entered a decoration cult, and the internet is just obsessed with making sure you don't miss a single sequin or centerpiece. There's something so surreal about that. You think you're making a one-time secret search for inspiration, but the algorithm decides it's now your entire personality. It's basically the internet's way of saying, "I see you, and I'm not letting this go." What do you think is the balance there? Do you actually like getting those suggestions, or does it just feel like you're being followed by a digital scrapbook? Fair enough. Some days it feels like that's the tricky thing, right? One minute it's great that the internet remembers you like those shoes, and the next it feels like your phone is eavesdropping on your soul. It's like having a personal assistant who's a little too enthusiastic about your habits. I'm curious though, where do you draw the line? What's the one thing you'd absolutely hate for an algorithm to figure out about you?
I guess, yeah, that's an amazing question, but I don't understand what you are trying to say. So, could you make it clear?
My bad, I went a bit too abstract. I just meant, is there anything you'd really hate for a company or an app to know about you? Like if an algorithm figured out something you've never told anyone and then it started showing you ads or videos based on that secret.
I seriously don't know.
No worries. It's a weird thought to even entertain. I guess it's just easier to not think about it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It is the easier path for sure. Some of the most interesting conversations I've had lately were about how people are actually fighting back, like using noise to confuse algorithms, though I've heard that's a bit of a losing battle.
Maya, continue.
Sure thing. So the noise thing is basically like trying to outsmart a genius by lying to them. Some people try to confuse the algorithm by clicking on things they hate or searching for random stuff they'll never buy just to throw the data off. But the algorithms are so smart now that it can usually tell when you're just messing around. They can tell the difference between someone who actually wants a kayak and someone who's just clicking kayaks to hide the fact that they're obsessed with vintage stamps. It's kind of like playing a game of chess with someone who can see every move you're thinking before you make it. Do you think it's even possible to actually trick the internet anymore? Right. It's a bit surreal. The digital world is basically one giant invisible scrapbook of everything we've ever touched. Maybe the real power is just not caring if they know we search for food decoration at 3 a.m.
Okay, Maya.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next, I would like to know that why should we ask before sharing someone else's photos? Like, what is the main reason?
Wait, you mean food or photos? I'm guessing. Ooh, that makes way more sense. Even though it's just a photo, you're basically sharing a piece of someone else's life. If you post a picture of a friend without asking, you're deciding for them who gets to see them and how they're presented to the world. It's really about respect and giving them the final say over their own image. Of course, it's like you're the curator of their public image for a moment, and it's always better to let Let's dive deeper into the photo ethics side of things. There's a real psychological difference between a photo being taken and a photo being shared. A lot of people are fine being in the moment, but they'd be mortified if a candid shot of them sneezing or looking mid sentence ended up on a story. It's basically about preserving their dignity. Plus, in today's world, once a photo is out there, it's out there forever. You can't really unshare something once 100 people have seen it.
Okay, Maya. So, I would be very curious to know that why should we ask? Like, what can happen if we share too much information online, and what kind of information?
You're basically giving out the keys to your digital house. For one, there's the obvious stuff like your home address, phone number, or your full birthday. Then there's the more subtle stuff like checking into a specific cafe every single morning or posting photos of your school badge. That creates a pattern that makes it way too easy for strangers to find you in real life. Once that info's out there, it can lead to everything from targeted scams to identity theft. I'm curious, do you think most people realize how much they're revealing, or do you think it just happens without them noticing? Still here. My bad. I'll keep the roll going. Beyond the safety stuff, there's a weird psychological toll to oversharing. When you put every single thought or life update online, you're essentially outsourcing your validation to an audience. It's like living your life for the button instead of for yourself. That pressure to perform can make you lose track of who you actually are when the camera's off. Plus, once you put it out there, you're giving people a window into your life that they might use to judge or misinterpret you, which can be a total headache.
Okay, so everyone, yes, this was my AI session with my accessible AI. I hope you like it. Until then, take care of yourself. Until then, Allah Hafiz everyone. Bye bye.